This is the TYRO, the show where 23 venture capitalist wannabes get the once-in-a-lifetime chance to make their dreams come true. Each episode, they'll attempt to convince a panel of successful venture capitalists that they are the next big thing. But only one will win the ultimate prize, a one-year contract with a top investment firm in Singapore, or $1 million worth of capital for their startup. From heart-pounding pitching sessions to intensive personal mentorship, it'll test every ounce of their business acumen. Our cutthroat VCs will eventually whittle down the contestants to only one. It begins now. In the end, only a few contestants have left their mark, whilst others have faded into a bad investment.
What I'm looking for in an apprentice is the same thing I'm looking for when we're investing in startups. Raw enthusiasm, passion, high energy drive to accomplish really great things.
Personally, I also run my own tech startup, so through this program I hope to learn how VC functions and also how startups in the ecosystem are like.
I'm pretty much interested in doing a business, so I think getting into VCs, I will see how people invest in things and grow a company from the start.
I had some experience in the entrepreneurship before during my last year of study in undergrad degree. So at that time, as an entrepreneur, when you look at the VC, it's always like, oh, these guys are VIP, so I admire them so much. So when I read about this competition, I think, oh, this is a good chance for me to experience what I look at them before.
And I really love startups a lot and want to find out more from the venture capitalist perspective about what makes a startup investment ready.
I'm very nervous, to be frank. I'm very nervous because I've never been to any of this, and I realize most of them are very undergrads of a certain level because I'm basically self-employed now, doing IT solutions. So yeah, compared to the people around here, I think I will just maybe it's a work experience that is a bit different from them.
This question is for anybody that talk about taxi. So what's so peculiar about Singapore taxi situation?
We have high density, we have high spending power. A lot of people want to take taxis.
So is New York, so is Tokyo.
Yeah, and I think
the question is that what's so peculiar about it?
In other countries, there are non-regulated taxis.
No, not necessarily.
London is regulated.
Some of them, when they get asked questions, they tend to smoke a lot. Right? In Singapore, the term of smoking means they tend to say things they don't really know.
What's different?
I believe that Singaporeans are more, consumers are more demanding. They actually wanted something that is actually a snap of their finger. So it's like, is it
wrong to expect that?
It's wrong to expect that, but then it's...
Why is it wrong to expect that?
Because...
I don't think it's wrong in a bloody expensive city.
You mean you are willing to wait an hour for a taxi?
Okay,
you definitely don't want to wait outside. So that's the reason why you want to do a booking, because you're in your office, you want to go outside until the taxi's there. So that's why most people who are paying for the taxis during the day, because they're working, they'll probably book it from their office. They're not going to go downstairs.
Go back to the question, what is peculiar? Yeah. And I just offered a synonym, what is different, what is unique?
I think the answer is most of the people here that we've seen today haven't been able to answer the questions directly. It's really important to be able to answer a question that you're asked. So it's also very important to say that I don't know. There's no shame in saying I don't know.
This question I find kind of interesting that most of you use a lot of this term called actually. And we just use 12 of it within the 30 seconds. It actually means a lot.
I understand.
It means that it's not really.
I think one of the main differences when I was in the US is basically that over here there's a huge booking fee. So ComfortDelGro, they charge a lot. And when I was in the US, they didn't charge at all for booking or getting the cab to come to your place. So that's very different. It's a different model. And so I think that was one of the...
they charge you a lot more on the... for the fare.
Yeah, they charge a lot more for the fare though, but there's this difference in the booking fee. So that's how taxi apps can undercut them because they have no booking fee required. Yeah.
I thought Valerie actually stood out. I thought she was able to answer questions most succinctly. She was the most eloquent out of the group, I felt.
Actually, although there's a lot of hype about taxi apps, for the older people, many of them will not use and they still trust the ComfortDelGro system.
What's so peculiar about this?
It's because taxi drivers are usually older, especially in Singapore.
For Singapore's culture, personally, I feel that it's a very Yes, it would. There's a need to have what you want when you want it.
But the question is not to ask you to describe the situation. The question is what is peculiar, right? You still haven't answered that. I mean, probably someone else can answer.
I don't think I was as prepared as I wish I could have been. Yeah.
Other people have any other comments?
Yeah.
Mayukuma, you have been quiet. Say something.
Okay. I thought what would be the right answer, so that's why I didn't step forward. Instead of giving a wrong answer, I thought, sometimes it's better to keep quiet.
Who's 110% interested in working for a venture capital firm? Anyone?
Yeah, that would be.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So tell me a little bit about
Somebody step in. Can I ask you all just a question, just finally from me? So, how many chickens are killed each year in the world, and how do you come up with that number?
In a year. 40 million? I don't know. Yeah.
40 million?
40 million.
Worldwide? 50 billion.
I would say way more.
Billion.
Billion. 50 billion.
Billion. Wow.
Can I ask each of you to tell me a ridiculous deal that you have seen happening in Southeast Asia or Singapore?
Not so much in Singapore or Southeast Asia. You guys know the app Yo? Don't get me wrong, it's an interesting concept. It has actually spawned a lot of copycats.
But you don't think they're going to make money? That's the thing.
It's name value as opposed to the technology.
Okay. Anyone else?
I am not very let's just say I'm not very familiar with the application part. But right now I'm looking into application as well. I just feel that sometimes people invest a lot into applications, and I feel that it might become a bubble.
What's wrong with the bubble?
Sorry?
What's wrong with bubble? People make money from bubble.
There's a lot of there could be a lot of
There's a lot of value
too.
created. So what's wrong with that? Wijian, you have been very, very quiet. Aren't you interested to be selected?
I don't have any experience in VCs or working in VCs, so I don't really have anything else to share with regards to VC.
If you tell us that you're actually not meant to be here, but you're still kind of taking my time, that kind of pisses me off a little bit. Since you want to intern with the VC, tell me, each of you very briefly, tell me what is your favorite venture capital company all over the world and why do you like them?
So, I'll get the ball rolling. For me personally, this might sound a bit biased, but because I know the guys in GGV, Vinny, Jeff, Justin and co, and I've been observing them for the longest time ever, and I do know them personally as well.
What's the last investment that GGV made? The very last one?
I do know that.
If I was in San Francisco pitching to a panel of VCs on why I should be hired, I would know, what investments they recently did. I would know about recent news in the market, and I didn't see that level of kind of research and energy going behind it and taking it to that next level.
Latest one. Can I call Jeff up? I'm not too sure.
In the coming episodes, the stakes rise even further. Our venture capitalists will test our contestants to their breaking points.
We want people that can experiment and learn and ask the right questions.
An inquisitive mind, somebody who has the curiosity.
Only one will make it? Harsh, man. I'm sorry, guys. It's all me then. I'm a bit of a hustler. I mean, if I see an opportunity there, I will take it.
Who will crash and burn? Who will impress our VCs? Who will be the TYRO?